welcome to BFS Wargaming. So back for another Necron codex, another part in the series. So today we're going to be looking at troops and the elites. So starting off with the troops, we've got two options. We've got Necron Warriors and we've got Immortals. So Immortals have changed, they're now toughness 5, which is really nice. It makes them a lot more durable, a lot better. Now we'll talk about the Immortals first. So we'll go through the weapon options. Is you can either take the Gauss Blaster or the Tesla Carbine. The Gauss Blaster is 30-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 5, -2, 1 damage. Or you've got Tesla Carbine, which is 24-inch range, assault 2, strength 5, 0 AP, 1 damage. But each time you make a hit roll of a 6, you get 2 additional hits, which is really nice. Now they have nerfed it because it's an unmodified hit roll of a 6 rather than a 6+. So it used to be like My Will Be Done, it'd be on a 5+, then you could play like the Saltec stratagem, then it'd be on a 4+, and you'd be getting loads of hits and it would be disgusting. But the trouble is, so they've stopped that, which is good because you could get -1 to hit and then not have it go off at all as well. So it's sort of a nerf, but a little bit of a buff, but more of a nerf. So my big issue is they've made the Gauss Blaster better by giving it 30-inch range. And now the Tesla Carbine has been nerfed, but also is 2 points more expensive. So I actually think that they're fairly even on, and obviously the Gauss Blaster is better AP. They're fairly even on now on which one you would want to take, but you're always going to take the Gauss Blaster because Tesla's 2 points more expensive. So they sort of nerfed it too hard. What they need to do now is just bring it back, hopefully in a chapter approved, bring Tesla Carbines just back to in line to 17 points, the same as it would be to take Gauss Blaster, and I think that's fine. You then think, well, I might take Tesla, I might take Gauss, depending on what you feel like you might be playing or what you need. Like, if you feel like you're going to go up against Horde, you probably want more Tesla. If you feel like you're going to go up against more elite stuff, then you want to probably take the Gauss. So, and it also depends what dynasties you're running and things like that, because you could then buff the Gauss, make it better, because there's a lot of stuff for rapid fire weapons as well as stratagems for them to make them better, where there's not really for Tesla. So yeah, they just need to bring that 2 points back down. But Immortals are really good, really strong choice, and they're the cheapest option because you can take 5 of them for 85 points. So if you're just looking for the cheapest troop option you can, that would be it. Necron Warriors, so you have to have these in a 10. They're 13 points a model, so 130 points for 10 or 260 for 20. So they're still exactly the same as they were in terms of their stat line. Still a 4+ save, so they do die quite easily. But obviously with reanimation protocols, they are more durable now because you can roll to reanimate them, or you also re-roll reanimation protocols of 1 for Necron Warriors, which so you get more chance of getting more back. So you do have 2 weapon options. You have the Gauss Slayer, which is the same as it has always been, 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 4, -1, 1 damage. And then you have the Gauss Reaper. It's almost like a close, more powerful weapon. So that's assault 2, 12-inch range, strength 5, -2, 1 damage. So which one's better? It's very hard to say. I think when I play a Necron Warrior heavy list, I think I'm going to run a few units of both. So probably 4 units of the Gauss Flayers, or a couple of units of the Gauss Flayers, a couple of units of the Gauss Reapers, mix them up, mix and match. Yeah, so I'll probably run 3 of the Gauss Flayers and 2 of the Gauss Reapers, because the Gauss Reapers could be really good, like if you vow them and then bang, smash them, or you stick them in, you know what I'm trying to say, basically outflank them. I can't remember what it's called, strategic reserves. Stick them in strategic reserves and bring them on. I know they can only come on 6 inches, but you should be able to get a target that, you know, from 6 inches of the board edge with the smaller boards. So yeah, I think both options are a lot better than they were. And yeah, I think you can definitely build lists around them, and I fully intend to. Then you have the Kinaptic Reanimator. So, Kinaptic Reanimator, movement 8, weapon skill, ballistic skill 4 because it's Kinaptic, which is fine, strength 5, toughness 5, wounds 6, attacks 4, leadership 10, free up save. It has the Atomizer Beam, 12-inch range, assault free, strength 6, -2, 1 damage. It's alright, it'd be better if it was 24-inch range. They could have easily made that 24-inch range, really. Reanimator Claws, be strength 5, -2, 1 damage. It's alright. It explodes on a 6, anything within 3 inches takes a mortal wound. Then it has the Nanoscab Reanimation Beam, which is the only reason you would take this. The only reason. In your command phase, unit within 6 inches visible to the model. Until the start of the next command phase, the unit within 6 inches visible to the model is being healed by reanimation. You +1 to the reanimation. You can only do 1 beam at a time, so you can't ever make it better than like a 4-up, basically. Why do I think this is probably the worst unit now, along with the Obelisk, in the codex? Because it's so easy to kill. It's toughness 5 with 6 wounds. Like, you put even a little bit of anti-tank into that, it's see ya. It's got no invuln. If they gave that a 4-up invuln, it would then be like, oh, okay, I might take it. But at the moment, I just wouldn't take it because I know how easily stuff dies, and it would just die instantly. And it's like, yeah, you could hide it round a corner behind some terrain. It's only got a 6-inch range. If that range was 12 inches or even 9 inches, then it's like, okay, I could hide it and still be able to get to stuff. But the chances are you're going to have to bring it out and it's just going to die. It's just a shame because I think it is easily... I think with a 4-up invuln, you fixed it. You fixed the problem. And it's just a shame. It's almost like they've missed it. I think they forgot to print it on the data sheet. They should have just printed it on the data sheet. It's okay, GW, you can fix that with the next chapter approved. So you just need to lower the Immortals Tesla Carbines by 2 points, and you need to give the Kinaptic Reanimator a 4-up invuln. Sorted. Don't worry, I don't want paying for these ideas, you just take them. Okay, so next up is the Hex Mark Destroyer. I'm saying this like GW's watching this. So the Hex Mark Destroyer. It's movement 8, 3+ weapon skill, 2+ ballistic skill, strength 5, toughness 5, wounds 5, attacks 4, leadership 10, 3-up save. It is a character. He has the hardwired destruction, so he can reroll hit rolls of 1. He doesn't have the aura to give reroll wound rolls of 1, unfortunately, which would have been really nice if they'd given him that. So we have he has dimensional translocation, so you can just put him in deep strike. Each time this model makes a ranged attack, you can ignore any or all hit roll and ballistic skill modifiers. The target is not receiving the benefits of cover for that attack. So you ignore and cover, you never hit on anything other than a 2. In addition, each time this model fires Overwatch, it scores hits on an unmodified rolls of 2+. So again, everything, even in Overwatch, 2+ to hit. Really, really nice. So I will just say the Enigmatic Disintegrator Pistol is 18-inch range, pistol 1, strength 6, -1 AP and 1 damage. He does have 6 of these. So multi-threat eliminator. Each time an enemy model is destroyed by a ranged attack with a pistol, after this model makes the rest of the attacks, can shoot 1 more disintegrator pistols 1 additional time. These attacks cannot generate additional attacks. So each time a pistol kills someone, you can shoot again with that pistol. So say if you shot 6 times, you killed 3, you get 3 additional shots. It's alright. Oh yeah, he's hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, obviously because he rerolls 1 to hit. So he's hitting. He's not got loads of damage output. It's not really what he's there for. And there's a cool stratagem where you can use him to drop down when something else drops down and immediately shoot them, which is really cool. It can really take the sting out of something. However, he's not there to deal out massive loads of damage. He's there to be an annoyance. He is infantry, so you could stick him out the back and get like deploy scramblers in your opponent's deployment zone. You could get him to score points. He's there to be an annoyance, and I think he can be annoying. But if you're looking for like something to run in and kill loads of stuff, he's not the model for it. But he can be annoying, he can score you points, and he's only 75 points, and I think he's quite good to have in there. he's in there for certain roles. He's not there to kill loads of stuff. He's there to annoy, maybe do an objective or whatever else. Maybe shoot something that's dropping down. He's the anti. He's like an all-spec scan, basically. But he can drop in anywhere and then just be like, bang, 18 inches away, have a shot. So, I think he's good. I think he's good, but he's not a massive damage out. So Litchgard, one of the few core units. Again, I think these are really good. So you've got two weapon options, the Hyperphase Sword or the War Scythe. And with the Hyperphase Swords, you can take the Dispersion Shield, which gives them a 4-up in run and a +1 to saving throws, basically a Storm Shield. And unfortunately, I have mine modelled with the War Scythe because I really like the War Scythe. It's 1 extra damage and 1 extra AP and 1 extra strength than the Hyperphase Sword. However, they die really, really easy. They've just got a 3-up save. They haven't gone in run unless you take the shields, and you can't take the War Scythe and the shield because the War Scythe is a 2-handed weapon. It's a shame. I feel like they should have given him like a 2-up save and a 5-up invuln. Make him a bit Terminator or something. I don't know, something. Or maybe just a 2-up save would have been fine. They are 2 wounds. You do get reanimation on them. Their strength, toughness 5. And yeah, they have a special ability called Guardian Protocols, which is an aura. So while they're within 3 inches of an infantry noble, dynastic agent infantry noble unit, within 3 inches of it, it cannot target the unit with range weapons. So you have to target the Litchgard. You can't target the noble, which is quite nice. Like I say, competitively, or you have to take him with sword and shield, really. Next up is Death Marks. I do actually quite like the Death Marks. They've got better, I feel. So 36-inch range, heavy 1 gun, strength 5, -2, 1 damage. So I think they've gone up 1 in strength. And every wound roll of a 6 inflicts a mortal wound. These are sniper rifles, so you can ignore lookout serval. So, you know, they're ballistic skill 2 as well, which is an upgrade. So when they drop in, they are still hitting on freeze, which is nice. They've got translocation, so you can drop them in. You can drop them in and snipe stuff, basically. And they can also use the same strategy in the Hex Mark can, so you can drop them in and use them as an anti deep strike. So you got strength 4. They are toughness 5 as well, which makes them a lot better. It's only 1 wound. Obviously, they get reanimation. Yeah, I think they could be a good unit. So definitely one to up there, you know. So flayed ones. I'm waiting for the new flayed one models. So I'm looking forward to buying them because I love the models. I love the lore around them. I just think flayed ones are really cool. So these have been slightly nerfed. So movement 5, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill doesn't matter because I haven't got guns. Strength and toughness 4, 1 wound, 3 attacks, 4-up saves. So they're basically close combat warriors. And finally, they've been put down to the same points as a warrior. So they're now 13 points a model, which I've been, for the whole of 8th, I said they should be. So they have reanimation protocols. They have dimensional translocation, so deep strike. They have flesh hunger. Each time a model in this unit makes a melee attack against an enemy non-vehicle unit, an unmodified hit roll of a 6 scores 1 additional hit. Really nice. This is basically instead of reroll wounds. Reroll wounds was definitely a lot better, but I'll take the additional hit on 6s. It's better than nothing. So, you know, they're infantry killers. You go in there, you have a high volume of attacks, and you just try and get through that armor. They're -1 AP as well, and they used to be 0 AP. Yeah, I think they're going to be good. I mean, I'd like 20 just to run, drop in somewhere, have a bit of fun with. If you're going for like a real close combat, cool Necron army, I'd like them for that. They also have terrifying foes, so while a unit was in 3 inches of this unit, subtract 2 from the leadership characteristic, which is nice. Which they should be. They're like covered in skin and stuff. They're like the things of nightmares. Crypto Thralls, my favourite new unit. One of my favourite new units. They're very, very cool. So you can take these with a Cryptech and they don't take up a detachment, a slot in the detachment, which is awesome. So there's a unit of 2, so there's movement 5, weapon ballistic skill 4, strength toughness 5, 2 wounds apiece, 3 attacks, 3+ save. Everything's leadership 10, so I don't talk about leadership because everything's leadership 10. They have a 12-inch pistol 2, strength 5, -2, 1 damage. It's nice just to have. And then they have the scythe limbs, which is strength user, so strength 5, -1, 1 damage. Now, bound creation. If your army is battle forged, then you can take critical falls without taking up a battlefield roll. Protectors. While a friendly cryptek unit is within 3 inches of this enemy unit, it cannot target the cryptek with ranged weapons. That means even snipers, because it's not lookout sir rule, they just cannot be targeted. So you have to target the crypto fools before you can target the cryptek. Love that rule. Because it's the snipers that you'd be worried about anyway, because crypteks will probably be around other things, and I think it's a brilliant, brilliant rule. Systematic, and also because crypteks are so weak and they're easy to kill. Systematic Vigor. While this unit is within 6 inches of any friendly cryptek, models in this unit have a weapon skill and ballistic skill of 3+ rather than 4+. And they have attacks characteristic of 6. So 2 models, you're getting 12 attacks. It is awesome. It's strength 5, -1, 1 damage. They can chew through some like hoardy stuff. I love them. I think, like I say, one of my favourite data sheets to come out in the new codex. I really, really like them. Okay, so we're going to move on. So we're just doing troops and elites. So we're moving on to the skorpekh destroyers. Skorpekh Destroyers, movement 8, 3+, and then strength 5, toughness 5, 3 wounds, 3 attacks, 3+ save. Leadership 10. I really like Skorpekh Destroyers. They look cool. They dish out some damage in combat. So, you've got the Hyperphase Reap Blade, which is +2 strength, -4, 3 damage, which 1 in every 3 has this. Then you have Hyperphase Threshers, which are strength 5, -3, 2 damage, but you make an additional attack with that weapon. So slightly less on the damage and the AP and the strength, but you get an additional attack. So they're hardwired destruction, so they get to reroll 1s for the hit rolls. Really, really cool unit. Great, just they're sort of quite durable, there's quite a few wounds, they're quite hard to get through. I really, really like them, and yeah, I definitely will be putting them in lists. I think they're a great new unit. And you can take the Kinaptic Plasma Sight with them. So basically what happens with the Plasma Sight is you can put them with a Destroyer Cult model. I think they're 15 points. Evasion Protocol. While this model has been 3 inches of friendly Destroyer Cult unit, any models cannot target this model with ranged weapons unless it is the closest eligible target. In addition, this unit cannot perform actions. And then in Recall Protocol, in the unit coherency step of the morale phase, if this model is not within 6 inches of any Destroyer Cult model, it is destroyed. And then Infused Madness, which is what you take it for. Once per turn at the start of either the charge or fight phase, you can select one friendly Destroyer Cult unit within 3 inches of the model. If you do so, roll 1d6 on a 1 model in that unit is destroyed, regardless of the result, until the end of the turn. Add 1 to the strength and attack characteristics of model in that unit. Each unit can only be selected for this ability once per turn. So you add in 1 strength and attack to a unit of maybe 5 or 6 destroyers. It makes them very lethal. But do they need it? Do 5 destroyers need it? Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, I probably wouldn't take it because it's 15 points, and then you've got the risk of losing a destroyer, and it's like, if there was no risk and it was just 15 points, then I might take it, but I probably wouldn't because of the risk. But you know what they say, who dares wins. So next up is the Triarc Stalker. Triarc Stalker has quantum shielding, so he has the can't be wounded on a 1 to 3 and a 5-up invuln. He also has the targeting relay, so if you shoot at something, I think you have to hit. Yeah, if you hit something, you can reroll 1s for the rest of the army. Not for that, but for the rest of the army, if it shoots at that turn, it can reroll hit rolls of 1. Sorry, that phase, not that turn. When this model is destroyed on a 6. It explodes, D3 mortal wounds within 6 inches. So it has a damage table, but it's strength. So it's movement 10, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3+, strength 7, toughness 6, 12 wounds, 3 attacks, 3+ save. It's quite good. It's fairly durable because of quantum shielding. I always take the heat ray because I think on the smaller boards it's really good. So you basically got either a melter. It's exactly the same as a multi-melter profile, so heavy 2, strength 8 -4d6 or +2 if you're within half range. And then you have a heavy 2d6 flamer, basically, strength 5 -1/1 damage, 12-inch range. It's really nice. You can also take the particle shredder, twin heavy gauss, or and then it has Stalker's 4 limbs, so strength 7 -2, 3 damage, 3 attacks. It's quite nice. It's a little bit of close combat. You know, you can be killing with elites in close combat. So yeah, I think it's definitely got a place. I'm not sure if it's hyper competitive, but I do like them. Okay, now we're going to move on to the Catans. Now, the Catans are awesome. I love that they've actually made them scary, because in 8th edition they were just not good. Not good at all, really. And it was disappointing. But now they are the Shards of Gods, and they feel like the Shards of Gods. So Setan Shard of the Deceiver, this has been nerfed quite badly, in my opinion. I'm not a massive fan of the Deceiver anymore. But we'll talk about... so basically, they've all got a very similar profile. So movement 8, weapon skill, ballistic skill 2+, strength 6, apart from the Nightbringer who's strength 7, toughness 7, 9 wounds. They don't get the lookout serval. They all have 5 attacks apart from the Nightbringer has 6, and they all have a 4+ save. Oh, actually, I didn't realise the Void Dragon has a 3+ save. Probably played that wrong in one of the games. So you have to keep reading these rules, make sure you get them right. So the Deceiver has dimensional translocation, so you can set him up in Deep Strike. And he has the Grand Illusion, so at the start of the first battle round you can select up to 3 friendly Necron units, remove those units from the battlefield, then set them up anywhere on the battlefield that is wholly within your deployment zone. If the mission you are playing uses Strategic Reserves rules, you can place them in Strategic Reserves instead. I'm assuming for no CP, so that's quite nice. You can just put stuff in Strategic Reserves for 0 CP, and your opponent won't know that you're doing that until you do it at the beginning of the battle round once you've already deployed. So that's actually quite nice. It is quite nice. The only thing is when you used to be able to redeploy them, you could redeploy them anywhere on the board 12 inches away. But now you have to redeploy them in your deployment zone or in Strategic Reserve. So sort of been nerfed a little bit, but it's not bad. So he has the misdirection. Each time an attack roll is made against this model, subtract 1 from the hit roll, which is nice. So it's -1 to hit. And then he has the 4-up invuln, Necrodermis, and he can only lose a maximum of 3 wounds per phase, which is nice. And then we have Reality Unravels, so on a 4+ he explodes, D3 mortal wounds to everything in 6. So yeah, he is still good, and he does a straight 3 damage, -3 AP, is quite nice. Then we move on to the Nightbringer, who's my favourite Catan. I think he's the best in this book, but he's also my favourite. So we have movement 8 inches, weapon skill, like I say, he's exactly the same apart from his strength 7, and he gets 6 attacks rather than 5. So he has 2 modes that he can attack in. So these all have powers as well. So if you go to the first video about the Necron army rules, it's in that video about all their powers. But he has 2 different types of attacks. So he can sweep, which means he makes double the amount of attacks, so he makes 12 attacks instead of 6. Or he can use the entropic blow. So the sweep is strength 7, -3, 1 damage. Or the entropic blow is ×2, so strength 14, -4, d6 damage. And you ignore invuns. Really good. So he has the Necrodermis as well, 4-up invuln, maximum of 3 wounds per phase. He has the explode, so Reality Unravels. You can't give him relics or warlord traits. And then he has Drain Life. This is brilliant. So each time a model makes a melee attack that is allocated to an enemy model, that enemy model cannot use any rules to ignore wounds it loses. So I'm not sure if they'll FAQ this to say that at the moment this goes through like Ghazghkull's only maximum of 4 wounds per phase. I don't think it's meant to. I think it's just meant to ignore Feel No Pains. So for instance, Mortarion, you can hit Mortarion with 6 attacks at strength 14, so you'll be hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, -4, and Mortarion's only got 3 up save, so you'll be going through his armour, because you can't take invuln saves. So you're getting 6 D6 damage, and he can't use Disgusting Resilient. You could one-shot, I mean, you probably wouldn't, but you could, if you roll really well on the damage rolls, you could one-shot Mortarion. How cool is that? And I like the fact that you can do that, because Mortarion's so tough and scary against pretty much everything else, and you know, he has the ability to be able to kill Mortarion, which is, that's just cool. It's just really cool. He's like pretty much the only model in the game that can one-tap Mortarion, or has the ability to one-tap Mortarion, so it's really cool. Then we have the Setan of the Void Dragon, the new Catan. I keep saying Setan, Catan. So he is exactly the same as Deceiver's data sheet, apart from he has a 3+ save instead of a 4+ save. He has the Spear of the Void Dragon, so range 12, strength 9, so heavy 1, -4 D6 damage. Basically, it's like a line, so if you hit the guy at the back, you can then wound anything in front of it. And if it's a vehicle model, you do D3 + 3 wounds instead of D6. And then he has the same thing in exactly the same. Spear of the Void Dragon is exactly the same in close combat, apart from obviously you don't get the line. But if it's a vehicle, it's D3 + 3 instead of D6. And then he has, you can make D6 additional attacks with his tail blades, and that's strength 6 -2 1 damage. So just a nice extra bit of horde clearance there. He has everything that the other two do, so Reality and Rebels, a Slave Saga, and Necrodamus, but he has this extra thing, Matter Absorption. At the end of each phase, roll 1d6 for each enemy vehicle model destroyed as a result of an attack made by this Catan user, and on a 2+, the model gains 1 lost wound to a maximum of 3 wounds per phase, which is really good when you can only do 3 damage to it per phase. Really good. So yeah, I love it. I think it's really, really cool. They can all do 2 Catan powers, so they all have one specific one for themselves, and then they can do an extra one. Okay, just 2 more data sheets left. So we have the Transcendent Katan. Again, this is a nice choice, and so the other Catans are 350 points. I think he's 270, so he's quite a bit cheaper. So he's strength 6, toughness 7, 9 wounds, 5 attacks, 4+ save. Same as pretty much the sort of standard Catan data. And then you've got Kraken Tendrils, so strength user, which is strength 6, -4 D6 damage. Not quite as high on the strength, but still nice. So this guy has the same thing, so again, 4 up invuln, maximum of 3 wounds, explodes on a 4+. Fractured Personality. Before the battle, select one of the abilities in the table to the right for this model to have the duration of the battle. Alternatively, you can roll 2. If you roll a double, you can re-roll one of the dice until you get a different one. So these abilities, some of these abilities are amazing, some of them are like meh. So you've got Cosmic Tyrant. At the end of your movement phase, this model is not advanced or fallen back. You can use 1 additional Catan power that it knows, and it cannot use the same Catan power more than once per turn. Really nice. It's an extra power, because this one only knows 1, if I'm not mistaken, which is probably why it's only 270 points. Yeah, it can only use 1 normally, so that gives you the ability to use 2. And then number 2 is each time immune to natural. Each time is basically it has transmute human physiology. So on a wound roll of 1 to 3, it just doesn't wound it. Quite nice. Then we have, you can get a 3+. This model has a characteristic of 3+. So it gets a 3+ save instead of a 4+ save. So a 3+ save and a 4 up invuln. It's not great. Transdimensional Displacement. This model gains transmit, so it can deep strike. Wouldn't really want that either. Untamed Power. This model has an attack characteristic of 6 and a strength characteristic of 7. That's quite nice. Extra attack, extra strength. Yeah, I quite like And then Writhing Worldscape. At the start of your movement phase, roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within engagement range of this model. On a 4+, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. In addition, each time a unit declares a charge against this model, until the end of the phase, subtract 2 from charge rolls made for it. It's alright. To be honest, the two that I would... the 2 or 3... So I'd want Cosmic Tyrant probably I'd probably just choose Cosmic Tyrant to do the additional power. Because if you roll, you can end up with something that's just like... Or 2 things which aren't great. But the other ones, which is the Transhuman basically, and the... Untamed Power for the +1 strength and attacks. It's alright. But I'd probably just choose Cosmic Tyrant. Okay, last one. Kinaptic Spiders, which got a lot better. A lot better, because in 8th, they were crap. So, movement 6, weapon and skill, ballistic skill 4+, because they're Kinaptic. Strength 6, toughness 6, wound 6, attacks 5, 3+ save, leadership 10 obviously. So you can give it a particle beamer, which is 18-inch range, assault 6, strength 5, 0 AP, 1 damage. So nice horde clearance there. I think you actually get 2 of those, don't you? Yeah, you can get 2 of those. Then you have the Automaton Claws, which are strength 8, -3, 2 damage, 5 attacks. They're nice, very nice. And you can take these in units of up to 3. It's really cool. You can also put other war gear. You can also put the Fabricated Claw Array. You can basically repair a vehicle for D3 wounds, and a Gloom Prison you could put on it, which you basically can deny a psychic power like a Psyker, which is really nice. A bit of extra anti-psych. He also has the ability Scarab Hive. It explodes and does a mortal wound on within 3 inches. But it also has Scarab Hive. In your command phase, 1 destroyed model from each friendly Dynasty Kinaptic Scarab Swarm unit within 6 inches of this unit is reanimated. It's nice. Just keep getting 4 wound Scarab models back, and you've got to kill another 4 wound Scarab model. You've got to keep putting firepower into them. So each unit can only be affected by his ability once per phase. So, you know, if you've got 3 spiders next to 1 Scarab unit, you can only bring back 1 Scarab base. But it's very, very cool. So yeah, that is the end of the Troops and Elites video. I hope you enjoyed it. Just to summarise, the Catans are really good. Kinaptic Spiders are really good. There's a lot, what I like about this codex, there's now a lot of threats. You know, there's a lot of decent threats. Stalker's good. Skorpekh Destroyers are good. Flayed ones definitely got some play. Litchgard are good, especially because they're core, so they're getting a lot of buffs. Death Marks got their place. Crypto Thralls I love. Kinaptic Reanimator is horrendous, just terrible. Hex Mark Destroyer has its place, I think. And then the troop units have got better. So I haven't got many complaints really. You're going to get some Duff units in the codex. It's just a shame that the Duff units who sort of buff our reanimation is the Duff unit, because it just dies too easy. But please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.